Hey guys, and welcome back to the AFC Elite channel. Today we are bringing you episode 4 of the Is Yours Gold podcast, brought to you today by myself, Aaron, and your co-host Harry. And this is where we discuss all things Arsenal. Before we get into today's video, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out all the social medias in the description: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We are everywhere. So check that out, people, and share the content. We want you to engage with it. But let's get into it. Harry, how are you feeling today, man?
I am doing well. A lot better after last night's result. A very good game, good start to the Champions League. But apart from that, yeah, I'm all right. I mean, it's a bit grey today. Very horrible day, man. But you know what? Just got the Arsenal to cheer me up. But yeah, I'm good, man. You?
Yeah, I'm good, man. As you said, another great day. But first game back into the Champions League, so we're gassed. European competitions, a chance for Arsenal to make history. I mean, we say that every season. It feels like I'm just repeating the same thing. But happy to be back, and not an easy opening fixture. Athletic Bilbao away. Hostile atmosphere. Not the most hostile, but every game's difficult in the Champions League, and going away ain't easy. But talk to me about how you felt when the starting lineup came out, because there was no Nico Williams, obviously their star player, signed a new contract in the summer. How did you feel, man?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I remember I didn't even realize until the game started.
Yeah.
I saw that because I don't really look at a lot of the time the opposition's lineup unless I really know about them. But yeah, when I realised Nico Williams, there's a shot of him when he was on the bench watching not the bench, up in the stands watching the game. I thought, oh my god, he's not there. And yeah, I mean, better for us, a lot better for us. Other than that, our lineup, I'd say, not really surprised at all. Like, even when we talked about our predictions last week,
Yeah.
we said, we mentioned how we might opt for the Marino, Rice, and Zubimendi, although probably would have rather seen Ranieri, and I think he might have done us a little bit better. And even the other stuff, when we mentioned Miles Lewis Skelly coming in, was that a possibility? Calafiori remains, so I think maybe just it's still in that mode of being precautious when it comes to the youth. However, yeah, I mean, apart from that, I'm mostly happy with the lineup. Also, obviously, Mosquera kept his place over Saliba as well, which I was more than happy to see, knowing after the result. I mean, yeah, we'll get on to how he did later, but yeah, lineup, I was pretty happy, man.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like you said, in the previous episode, we discussed potential Marino coming in, him starting. Um, I'm not surprised the manager decided to do that, especially after his performance against Forest. I thought he played really well, but today, I mean, yesterday's game, for me, he just wasn't effective. We'll get into that. But when I saw the starting lineup, I wasn't too surprised, wasn't too disappointed. And obviously we got the result, which is what mattered. But speaking about the game now, a game of two halves, man. That's just my opinion anyway. The first 20 minutes, it was always going to be a struggle. Going away, I felt, listen, we had the ball, but at the same time, it's like Bilbao were pressing high. They weren't trying to let us play out from the back, people. It was a struggle. The first opening 20 minutes, it was a struggle. And Rice getting a booking so early on in the game, I just felt like that affected his whole performance. I think he was on thin ice. Tell me what you think about that, man.
I agree. I saw a couple of comments this morning. Obviously, I woke up, saw some of the discourse online. Some people were saying Rice had a good game. I wouldn't agree with that. I did think he was not himself, but obviously, I think the yellow card had a part to play in it. And just on that, I think the ref was a bit harsh to give that. It was a very
Yeah,
early yellow, about
yeah.
6 minutes in or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. I don't think he looked himself, but I mean,
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, I don't know.
Rice wasn't himself for me, but yeah, very harsh booking to give him a yellow, and literally the first opening 6 minutes. But like I said, the first 20 minutes, I generally think we struggled. We had the ball, but we just couldn't create any clear opportunities. But that's what you expect when you go, through a European tie. It's never going to be easy. But we started to pick up the pace and create a lot more opportunities. Gyokeres had, a decent header attempt, and the good thing is I like to see that he's involved. It's clear to me to see that he'll definitely be scoring goals when you get opportunities. Wasn't his night, But yeah, decent header attempt, and he was involved in the game. What do you think about that?
I mean, that was brutal. I think that header when he got
Yeah,
that, him and Gabby clash heads. I think Gabby literally headed into the back of his head, and I mean the cut. You see how much it was bleeding at the time? It was crazy. But
Gabby,
I
Gabby,
agree.
listen. I need to send a message to you. Stop injuring our players, yeah? As soon as we signed Mikel Marino, you put him out for a long
Oh
time,
yeah,
buddy. And now you're trying to put out our striker. He's the only option we've got. So until Havertz comes back, can you just relax? My
I'm telling
God.
you, there's some leaks that will come out that he injured. He's the one that injured Saka. He's the one that injured Odegaard. He's the one
I'm,
that injured everyone.
I'm telling you. But I just want to get into some stats about the
Oh yes.
midfield and the lineup. And it's not great. Listen, I don't want to project onto Marino, but I don't think he's effective in that three-man midfield with Zubimendi and Rice. I mean, he had a 72.4% pass completion rate, which is not great from a midfielder. 14 carries and zero progressive carries out of 14.
Mm.
So for me, that's very telling. Do you understand? Because if we started Ethan one year, he's someone who likes to run with the ball. I know he's getting that ball up the pitch, and for me, that's sort of why we sort of struggled within the first 20, 30 minutes, the opening 30 minutes, because the lack of progressive passing. I mean, Rice isn't the most progressive player as it is. Do you understand? So without Zubimendi putting, those needle passes through, we're going to struggle.
Yeah, I think that it's a good point, and that is where that pragmatic approach of going for the more experienced ones can come to bite you because realistically, Nwaneri was the only one who can run with the ball. Or even if you placed Eze there and started, someone else in the left wing, he needs to really that free midfield just doesn't work in my opinion. It doesn't work. But there's no one there that can, play the right passes and like I say, carry the ball. And that being said, I still thought Zubimendi did well. I thought Zubimendi was the highlight of that midfield. I
Yeah,
think, especially early on, where they were onto us quite a lot. He did try and calm the game down. He dictated it, especially a lot better in the second half. But but we need someone in that three that can do something on the ball. It can't just be passing around, playing around because it's just a continuous cycle of going around in circles. We need someone that is a threat and can run at defenders. Otherwise, you're going to see a lot more performances like yesterday.
100%. I just don't think it. Listen, that midfield trio, it's not something I want to see going forward. But we are not the manager. But let's get into, I'd say, Mascara, because this is his first UCL tie for the Arsenal. I have to keep saying this. He got thrown into Anfield, which I don't think some people understand. That's why I have to keep saying this. Some people don't understand how tough that is. Now thrown into his first UCL tie with Arsenal, a new pairing with Gabriel, and bro didn't put a foot wrong. Again, superb. Another superb performance. Comfortable on the ball. 58 carries, by the way, the most out of any player on the Arsenal team, which shows bro is the ball dominant playing centre back.
Hmm.
He has the ball more than Gabriel, which is crazy because Gabriel's an experienced player. He's been playing in the system for so many years, but Mascara's the one who had the most carries out of both of them.
I think Mosquera, the fact that we got him for 13 million is an absolute daylight robbery. I mean, he hasn't put a foot wrong in any of his games so far. He hasn't. If anything, he's improved that defense. He made some great last-ditch channels against challenges against Forest, and today in a very hostile atmosphere, he kept his cool. He might have had the odd misplaced pass, but a lot of them did. A lot of them just kicked out sometimes. That's just how it happens when you get pressed so high. But I thought he was so good. He really is some player. And I'm hearing a couple of shouts about, and I actually want to touch on this later when we go to the City game about him versus Saliba for the Man City game. Who's going to
Yeah,
start that? Because to be honest, when I saw that Mosquera started, we all knew City was back in training.
yeah,
But I would have rather Mosquera anyway, only just to protect Saliba. There's no need to throw someone because I think one of Arteta's flaws sometimes has been as soon as they're back from injury, throws them back in, and not only are they more, I guess reluctant to really good dive into challenges and run at players because they've just come back for an injury. They're conscious of getting injured again, so they play bad. But also they're more likely to injure themselves again because they're fresh off an injury. So I just feel like it is a good sign that we have someone like Saliba on the bench in such a tough place to go, and we can come out with a win because
Uh,
of the squad depth. And I mean, more power to Andrea Berta, because the fact that he found that man, wow. But
yeah,
I'm happy.
bro. It's like finding the diamond in the rough or whatever the saying is,
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you what you say about the managers. Too many times these rush back players. I think about Saka. When he came back from the international break. Next minute, Mikel rushes him back into the starting 11 and he's pulled a hamstring. He's out for 3 months. Completely teared off the damn bone. So this is why we have squad depth, people. We have squad depth and we need to utilize these players. If you're good enough to sign them, you're good enough to play them. That's what I think. But
So true.
let's move on to the second half, because the first half was a stalemate. I
Yeah.
generally don't really have anything to say. There's nothing good about that
No.
half. It was two teams, and you just needed a moment of quality to break through.
Yeah,
Which
there wasn't much. There were a couple of half chances. I know
half
Gyökeres had,
chances, yeah,
yeah, Gyökeres had a couple of headers, and I know I actually saw a clip this morning of Henry analysing one of his runs in behind. I think one time, he was behind the defence. He ran a bit and he got caught up quite a lot and took it on his left, and then his left
yeah.
shot was kind of a weak shot towards the end. But I saw another thing this morning about Henry, that the issue with Henry's analysis is that he thinks everyone plays like him, which is
Exactly.
and that's probably why he hasn't made it as a manager. By the way, it's a bit off topic, but I can promise you, he's probably telling like League Two players like this is Henry standards. You know how that guy was, how fast that guy was. He wants Gyokeres to do the same. Like that's just impossible. But yeah, like you say, that's pretty dull first half.
Listen, you can't get players from Mansfield Town to do the signature finesse. You get it? It's just not happening, people.
That's what he
Well,
wants.
well, he's not getting that, and he never got that. But at the end of the day, but respect to the king, respect to the king.
Yeah,
But
respect.
let's move on to the second half, and finally we got a breakthrough, which wasn't expected. 35/36 seconds into the 11, Martinelli, a player who I have heavily criticized. I hold my hand up. He gives us the lead. Now, I've got to give him some praise because this guy, he's been through the mud. But to
Yeah,
be honest, the criticism, it has been just. Like I'm not saying these things just to get onto him. I have no agendas, and majority of the fans feel the same way. We love the guy. 22, 23. He was the player that really carried us towards the end of that title, run where we collapsed in the end. But for him to get a goal, I'm so happy for him, man.
I agree. I mean, 36 seconds after coming on. That is something. I think it's the quickest. I didn't fact check that, but it might generally be the quickest of substitution to get a goal. And the fact that even I think people are forgetting that flick from Trossard prior to let him through. That is some. I mean, honestly, those two assisting each other, scoring both. I'm more than impressed, and really does go to show the squad depth, like we say. I did just want to say that as well. That touch, like, it's really a tough goal for a tough goal to score for Martinelli, because I think he has to touch it off his head, then take it in his stride, run with the ball,
Yeah.
and the finish actually isn't that good. If you look at the finish, it's actually not, the keeper probably should be better, but yeah, like you said, I mean, striker. I've seen a lot of people in the past say that Martinelli should be more of a striking player through the middle with a number 9, and yeah, I mean, goes to prove it again, I guess.
Exactly. I think. Listen, I don't want him sold. I've never had that standpoint. Some people want him out of the club. I've never had that. I just thought he's a great impact player. I don't like to call these players substitutes. It makes them seem like they're sort of less than. That's not how I see it. I just think you are an impact player. Your role is to come on and change the game, and that's something with his pace, with his power, and how direct he is. That's something he can do that. We saw it yesterday, 36 seconds in. Like you said, the touch from Trossard, the pass was fantastic. And the fact that Martinelli has to actually get the ball into his stride because the ball is behind him, which is crazy. And he's running at full speed as well. Then to have the composure to finish in a game where it's 0-0 and you have to break the deadlock. I mean, I've got to give him credit as well, man. I think he's been going through a lot, man. And for him
Yeah.
to score, I just think it eases the pressure off his back. And I hope he can build momentum from this, really and truly, because he got himself into a bit of a rut where he was dropping a bit of stinkers, couldn't beat a player. but immediately he makes the impact. But as for Trossard, Leo, someone who, listen, let's be real. I thought he was leaving in the summer,
Yeah,
linked with a lot of clubs, Premier League teams. Most recently linked with Besiktas in Turkey. I thought it was someone who's out the door because he was the easier player to be sold, but we've kept him, and I see why. He's delivered. Do you understand? He comes on the pitch, one goal, one assist, and his goal, okay, weren't the greatest, but if you don't shoot, you don't score.
I agree. I think he has always been known at Arsenal as that clutch player off the bench. I remember his debut against Brentford off the bench, where he scored that one in the 1-0. There's other times, even and we've even discussed before. Is he our like when we talked about our best finishers at the club? He probably is still up there. And the thing with him is just you never know what you're getting with Trossard. Like he actually technically he is a great player. It is just sometimes he looks so lost. Like even going back to last season where he was in that front three of him, Sterling, and Nwaneri. When we needed someone to step up, he couldn't do that. He couldn't do that whatsoever, and that's where Mourinho had to come in. But I think now, hopefully, he's fueled by the amount of competition there is in that wing and the depth there is. Like, not only does he have to battle with Eze, Madueke, Saka when he comes back, Martinelli, that and Nwaneri, that is a long, long list of players to come through. And if I'm him, what is he? 30 years old now? 29? He's getting
Yeah,
old,
yeah, he's getting up there.
and he's probably thinking, I've been around for a while. I've done a lot of things for my team. Like, but Brighton, he scored hat tricks at Anfield. He's a Belgian international. He's not going to be happy sitting on that bench week in, week out. And I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him to come off the bench and, like I say, a goal and assist for him. And I like. There's a good picture of him and Martinelli both like screaming up at the away fans, and
Yeah,
I'm happy for them both. It's good for them to get into the
it's
team, and yeah,
it's a good moment for both of them, like you said. But like you said, yeah, I think he's a great player. At the end of the day, left foot, right foot, he can play on both wings as well. He's very useful, and yeah, I agree with everything you said. The issue for me with Trossard is the consistency. Whenever you start, he will have a 10 out of 10 game, but then the next week, he will have a 1 out of 10 game. And it's too, inconsistent for my liking. I don't
yeah,
really like that. But I like how you said, we've got depth now, healthy competition, which is what I want. And speaking of healthy competition, in the absence of our main player, Bukayo Saka, I have to speak about Noni Madueke.
oh yeah,
For me, another good performance. This guy's got bundles of energy, man. Like
mm,
honestly, it feels like he can run for days. He's getting past players. He's bright, 1-2s, little one touch and move, touch and go. Bro, all he's missing is that end product because he got himself into so many good positions. It was actually a bit frustrating. And for me, that's the difference between him and Bukayo Saka. That's the difference between a good
yeah.
player and an elite world-class player. You get yourself into these good positions, but can you deliver? I mean, Man City have that problem with someone like Jeremy Doku. No doubt, fantastic dribbler, great on the ball, but it's the end product. That's what I need to see from you.
I couldn't agree more. I think he played great once again yesterday, taking on his man. Really, the only threat going forward, I'd say, because I do also want to mention that I think there's been a bit of a Eze agenda from last night. I don't think he played as bad as some people want to make out he did. And there's a clip of going around where Arteta was have a go at him, telling him to stay wide. But I think with Eze, I like what he does. He gives and goes. He's very active on the ball, and he might have been a bit quieter last night, but so was a lot of the front line. But I would say Madueke was one that stood out. I mean, he's continuously being a threat to his winger, taking him on. Him and Timber, I think, both are getting a good connection, because Timber really how physical he is. He's able to. I remember there was a time where their left back had it in a corner, really just shrugged him off, gave him the ball to Madueke. Madueke could run in, get a cross in, and that's where Eze should have scored. But it was just
Yeah.
about taking off him from the defender coming in last second. But
Yeah, I like how you mentioned Timber because for me, he was a standout player. At the end
mm,
of the day, 7 progressive passes, the most out of any defender, the most out of any player on the actual field in terms of the starting 11. I believe he had 5 attempted tackles, 3 out of 5. So not bad. What's that? About 60%. Listen, bro, the guy was the guy's an exceptional 1v1 defender. Like,
Hundred.
it's so hard to get past him, man. What he does on the ball is great as well. Like, if he can up that production, if he can perform like that, keep those progressive passes coming, keep those runs into the box, could have easily had an assist to Eze, like you said. I mean, bro, the depth we have is crazy.
Yeah, it is impressive, and I'd agree just once again with your point that it's just the end product that separates him and Saka. Because one-on-one ability, I think they're pretty much. I think Saka sometimes has that bit more about him, but Madueke is very tricky. Don't get it twisted. He's very, very, very good, and it is just his end product that separates the two from what Saka is as a world-class forward to Madueke, who is a good forward. But yeah, I'm happy with his performance anyway.
Yeah, is there any other player you feel like deserves to get a shout out or?
I just want to say this one point I came across. There's a quote from last week where Madueke was getting interviewed, and he said the point. It went like this. So he quoted, "Mikel gives us freedom. We have the freedom to get the ball and to try and be dynamic and try and stay positive." So we have been very critical of Martinelli in the past and players like that who we kind of give the benefit of the doubt sometimes because maybe Arteta doesn't allow him to go and at players and try to be more conservative about it. Now, while Madueke's quote here suggests that there is no instructions to be more safe and you are given the role and the freedom to take on a man. Yesterday, what I saw with Arteta telling Eze, to kind of be a bit more careful with how he's running at players and stuff. I just don't know if the two contradict each other. I don't know if that's maybe because they had a good game and Madueke was like, you know what, fuck it, he lets us do whatever we want. But I do think there's a bit of truth that on the right wing, I do think they're encouraged a lot more because it's a bit of just looking at pattern recognition here. I think Nwaneri, Madueke, and Saka all are better at taking on players, and we see it a lot more. They are able to take on their defender a lot more. However, on the left hand side, Martinelli, even Trossard, and now Eze, I think there's a lot of times where they just come back to the left centre mid or the left back, and I just don't know if that's a system thing or maybe the one wing experiences the experience a lot different than the other. I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's different roles, but I thought it was an interesting point to make.
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic point. I never even knew about what he said about in his interview, but yeah, you've opened my eyes there. I think it's a bit of a system thing, because I feel like where we've become so used to having Saka as our main outlet, and obviously Erdegaard with him, those two are our main creators, and they have been for years. I feel
Mm,
like we've become so heavily lopsided towards that sort of right hand that it's a go-to now. When you're on
yeah,
autopilot, you become used to something. That's what it is. And but the thing is, you've got to get the right players in the right positions to distribute the ball evenly. When we had someone like Xhaka, it was constant threat from left and right. The issue is we still don't have that. And he's trying to sort of fix that plug by putting Calafiori in there. But it's listen, don't get me wrong, Calafiori, he's been doing amazing this season, but to get that balance is very difficult. And
yeah.
since Xhaka, we haven't come close, man. Honestly.
No, yeah, I do agree. I do agree. It's just difficult to try and get the balance once again with missing what we had. But yeah, other than that, not much to
Yeah.
say.
I just wanted to get into some comments by Arteta, post
Hmm.
post game. And this is his words, quote for quote, off the Arsenal website. On tonight's game, what an amazing place to play football. I must say, one of the greatest atmospheres that I've been in. We knew that the first 20 to 25 minutes was going to be very tough, especially the way that they played. It was so intense, a lot of direct players, a lot of duels. I think that we started to grow throughout the game, and in the second half, we were much more fluent, dominant, and looked much more of a threat. At the end, the finishes, they made the impact for us to win the game, and overall, I'm happy. And then he goes on to say what he tells us about our subs, that they are basically, they share the same level as importance as the starting players. We have discussed that the finishers are going to be more important this season, sometimes more than the starters. We can change the game there, especially with the intensity that we play, especially when the team starts to drop off. And I'm very pleased to see that. Piero comes in and plays 6 minutes, the first 6 minutes he's played, and Christian is the same. That's the attitude I want from all of us. I think that's interesting comments right there, to be honest.
Mm.
The way how he puts it, I like that word finishers. Like I said, the word substitutes, it makes players feel less than, you know. But the word finishers, that's how I want them to deliver it to the players that are on the bench. You are very important. You're here to change the game. That is your role. And if you can't come on within 20 minutes and change the game or whatever, you simply won't play. And then he goes on to mention, obviously, Hincapié, 6 minutes in his Arsenal debut. What do you think about that, man?
Yeah, I think nothing too special. Very tidy from him. He's going to be very, I think, important in the whole duel winning. How Arteta likes to make his defenders, very physical and yeah, pretty much non-negotiable. You got to win your duels. I think it was right, and but just on that point, I think it's a great way to put it. I think substitutes can sometimes feel invalidated because you are essentially being dropped. That's what people like to say. But put in a way that your role was important because you change and dictate how the game finishes. I think that's just a great way to put it. I think it really does encourage the players to have that mindset of if you are important, you got a good role in the squad, and yeah, I think that's really really nicely done by Arteta.
Yeah. So we pretty much discussed the game. Is there anything else you'd like to say about the game before we move on?
That's all from me, man. I mean, I'm just happy with the first 3 points. UCL second in the
Yeah,
league at the moment, but yeah, happy.
second in the league, a very very good start. Hopefully we can get that top eight finish like last time, so we can avoid those extra fixtures.
Yeah.
Moving on, Man City. Oh, good
Oh
friends.
ho ho!
Oh God, I mean, this team is. They've given me a lot of grief in the past few years, man. Just them and Liverpool. I'm sick of it. I'm
Yeah,
sick of it. That 5-0 last season. Wow, that was like a Christmas pudding, man. I
yeah.
couldn't wait for that day. I couldn't wait for a day like that. And finally just give them a good old whooping after years of torture they've given us. Oh, but yeah, Man City, Emirates Stadium, Super Sunday, 4:30 kickoff. How are you feeling about the game?
That is, I actually want to mention that 5-1 against City because I think people actually don't talk about that enough. Because you
Yeah,
remember when we lost 5-0 at the Emirates? It was like that 22, no, the Emirates, at the Etihad,
Etihad.
21-22 season. I think that was the third game of the season. We're at 0 points, 3 losses because we just come off the bat of losing to Brentford and Chelsea. That game, not only did we have a red card, but that team we had Chambers, Kolasinac, we had, I don't know, the Holding, and we had all these players starting. However, like when we beat City 5-1, they still had Haaland. They still had, I don't know, Edison. I don't know, it was Ortega playing that day, I think. But they still had a lot of their main players playing. So the fact that doesn't get talking about enough, I want to bring up right now. We smoked them with their good team. All they
Smoked.
were missing is what Rodri. I don't know if Diaz played, but yeah, I'm not having that, man. We'll have a proper spanking. Don't allow it to be undermined. And bear in mind how poor we were that season anyway because of our lack of attacking threat. The fact that we just bagged 5 on them, I mean, yeah, great day. Hopefully that can be
Exactly.
replicated.
That was a City team where they had majority of the players from the treble winning season.
Yeah.
They got spanked. Like, I don't think people talk about that enough. You know what? Yeah, whenever Arsenal do anything, they really do like to undermine our achievements.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you spanked City. Yeah, but they were dead that season. Well,
Yeah.
hold on a minute. They weren't a few. They were only a few points off us. You realize that they were
Mm.
quite close in the league finish. They just come off a treble about this Jack Grealish, £100 million, the best players in the world. You know, what? We'll see. But
Yeah. Or even
yeah,
even like the Chelsea 5-0. That doesn't get talked about enough, but the Chelsea 6-0 against Arsenal gets talked about every single day. Like, actually,
yeah.
it's a joke, but yeah, no, the point, yeah, well,
But yeah, Man City preview. Like I said, Super Sunday. Favorite day of the week in terms of football. It's a tough one. City
yeah,
coming off a win. Arsenal coming off a win. Two colossal teams going at it, two title contending teams going at it. Don't get me wrong, City. Listen, this is not the City of old. The Sterlings, the Sanes, the prime Agueros, the prime Fabian Delves and all that. But they're still a threat, man, and they can definitely do something. When you got the best striker in the world, someone like Erling Haaland, I believe he's top scorer in the Premier League, I believe, right now. or
He
he's
must be.
definitely
Yeah. I
has
mean,
to be. He's
yes.
up there, and his XG is off the charts. The amount of chances this guy is getting, bro, our defenders got to be switched on. But in previous games, Gabriel Saliba, we've done very, very well against
Yeah.
Erling Haaland. He hasn't got a sniff. Do you understand? I swear, in one game, we even got them down to like 0.01 XG or something like that. Some crazy
Yeah. Yeah.
statistic. But yeah, speaking about Gabriel and Saliba, does Mascara start? That's the question I want to know.
Ah. Right. I would say that's probably the big question here that we've got
Yeah,
after the couple of weeks. I would say I'd opt for yes because listen, I know Mosquera's been amazing. It's just these games when you come against Haaland, that is a different forward. Like that guy loves to
yeah,
bully your defender, no matter what. And what we know about Saliba, that guy will not take it for a second. I mean, we do say that, but obviously when he did score the Emirates last year, Haaland,
yeah,
he actually won the header where Saliba should have been marking him. So I mean, that's good. That's a point. But a couple times before, every time that Saliba and Haaland have met each other, and Gabriel, I mean Gabriel and Haaland, that rivalry, I'm very excited to see that go down again because you know the throwing the ball in the face and then laughing in his face as Arsenal score at the Emirates. Like, there's a lot of history there. But I would just go for Saliba. Only I don't know. You know, it's tough. Don't get me wrong. It's very tough because you consider match fitness. You consider what happened, obviously, at Anfield, where how quick Saliba went down. You don't want that to happen again. Disrupt the flow of the game. But I would,
listen,
yeah, I just go because the connection that Gabby and Saliba have. That's what I'd go for, to be honest. But it is very, very tight.
I agree with you 100%. Couldn't agree more. If I'm the manager, Saliba, you're up, buddy. You're
Yeah,
getting chucked in there. Listen. He was fit enough to train. You're fit enough to place on, and you're going in there. The history with Gabriel, like I said, they've done a good job against this guy in the last few recent fixtures.
mm,
So that partnership against Haaland, we know how to stifle him. And like you said, yes, he did score. He did score last time out, but let's do it, man, and hopefully he doesn't come off. But the good thing is we have Mosquera. Like this guy, he's ready to step in. He's proven that. So yeah, but talk to me about other players in the expected lineup. You know, Martinelli, Trossard, good
yeah.
impact from the last game. Do you think they get a sniff?
That's the thing. That has Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli won their place after
Yeah,
that? I mean, goal and assist for them both, rescuing the 3 points. I would opt for. I'd really struggle. Maybe I'd actually argue maybe Martinelli. Only because I don't know. He does. I think about sometimes at home where we start quickly and there's a crowd behind you, which they will be. It will be a given at the Emirates, especially against City. Straight away, you will have a lot of energy in that crowd. I wonder if Martinelli will benefit off that because it will encourage him to then challenge his opponents. Because trust me, if he does not take on a player, the whole crowd will go, oh, oh,
yeah,
and then that will be when the trouble starts. And also, I think that Eze cannot stay on the left this week because we need to solve that midfield problem.
yeah,
I don't think we can start going into that game on Sunday starting Marino, Zubimendi, and Rice. I think Marino has to come out, and we have to put Eze or Nwaneri there. One of them. We
yeah.
can't have that midfield again. It doesn't work.
For me, I think Martinelli's earned his place. Funny enough, I think this is the type of game for him because the things with City is that defensively they're liability. I'm not convinced, and the thing is they still continue to play a high line despite having players that are out of their prime. This is
Yeah,
Diaz. He can't play a high line anymore. He's just not physically equipped for it. Neither is Stones, and there is space in behind. So Martinelli, for me, I'd start him and I'd put Eze in the 10. That's it for me. Zubimendi, Rice, Eze. That is the midfield locked in for me, and Martinelli on the left. But yeah,
might be
I,
good start.
I think the starting lineup speaks for itself. If I'm being honest, I think we keep it the same.
Yeah,
Raya in goal, Timber. Obviously, I think Saliba will come
Saliba,
in. If not, Mascara interchangeable. Gabriel, Ricardo. That midfield three of Eze. Hopefully, he can get in there. And
yeah.
Martinelli, Gyokeres, and Madueke. Do you agree?
I agree. I think that's just the best lineup with what we've got at the moment. And that is enough. That team is enough to beat Manchester City, especially like when I think about their form. They obviously they're back on form a little bit after beating United 3-0. They'll be confident going into this game. However, as a whole for this season, they are there for the taking. Obviously, they had a great start to the season, beating Wolves 4-0, but back-to-back losses, was it? I know they lost against Brighton.
Yeah.
They had one more game, which
Brighton
I can't recall their other game of the season.
let me double
But
check that.
yeah, but yeah, while you check that, I'll keep on. But I just think, yeah, as that right now, their team is good enough. You know, Foden back on the score sheet, he'll probably get a lot more confidence going into this. Rodri's back, and Rodri will have an agenda against us because of what we did to him last time. I'll say we know who. We shan't name his name because he's currently going to court today. But anyway, apart from that, yeah, it's been I'm quite excited. I think we should. That whole stay humble will forever be present in this fixture, and I just want to shut him up, man.
Yeah, I'm sick of them. Speaking of court, I swear in the UK you can just pull up into court and just go. I mean, if it's an open case, I mean, I might be there. I'm quite interested. This might be cinema. I need to see, but actually, you know what? Let's not even get into it. Let's not get into it.
I actually don't want to mention the reception he got yesterday at Tottenham.
Yeah. Let's not mention it. But yeah, it was Tottenham actually. It's funny enough that they lost to.
Was it? Oh
yes. At home. I watched that game on the train. That was a stinky performance, by the way.
Yeah.
It's really stinky. But expected lineups we've discussed. I just wanted to speak about the ferocity of this game. You know, the Man City and Liverpool feud, too friendly for my liking.
Too friendly, yeah.
Too friendly. Listen, let's bring it back. Old school Barclays. We're talking Patrick Vieira, Roy Keane. I want elbows flying everywhere. That's what I want. I want this a WWE match. This is too friendly for me. Do you understand? This Haaland stay humble. That is what I want, and that's what I want to see.
I'm with you. I'm with you all the way to the end on that one. I mean, I think even with Liverpool, like, I just think it's just us. Like, everyone hates us, man. It's a fucking joke. But I think there is a rivalry brewing. It definitely has come over the years with them, obviously winning the title over us twice. And I think this season we don't want them to gain any confidence. Like, if they come to right now, Manchester City, if you want to go and make a title make a statement that you are going for the title this year, you come to the Emirates and you win. That's what they have to do. But we cannot allow that for a second. We want to put them out of the title race straight away. And I mean, we won't put them out of the race, but we'll definitely put a kind of statement that, you guys got to simmer down. This ain't your season. You had a good run, 4 in a row, never done before. Won't happen again, I'd say. I mean, that is some feat, but yeah, you better relax. You're not going to do it again. You can sit down, and this will hopefully be our year, or at least between us and Liverpool. But yeah, we just got to put them in their place, and I'm nervously confident. I think that we have to make the Emirates Stadium a fortress this year.
Yeah,
and I think we always have been good in doing that previously. However, one thing we cannot do is cannot allow title rivals to come and take points. We did that last year with Liverpool. They came away with a point with the 2-2. We cannot allow that for City this year. We have to just put them out, make sure we get all 3 points and leave them going back to Manchester empty-handed. That's what I'd like to see.
That's a great point right there. We need to make the Emirates a fortress. I don't want any teams getting a point at the Emirates, yet alone City and Liverpool. I don't want any teams, whether it's Forest, whether it's West Ham. I don't care. No points at the Emirates. That's all I'm going to say. But speaking about Man City, they are quite hindered. I mean, I go through their injury, the current status. Mr. Johnny Stones, knock. He's out. Nori, ankle injury. Marmouche, knee injury. Cherky, muscle injury. Mateo Kovacic, Achilles tendon injury. So, it's not looking good.
I just remembered that Cherky was out as well. Yeah, there's quite a few of their new signings out. Nori as well. So, who would play left back? I might be Ake or something. I don't know.
No idea. Probably.
Whatever it is, he won't be as athletic as Nori to be. Martinelli, man, you bet. Oh, it's not. That'll be Madueke. Ooh, we might be in for something.
Might be a cook sesh, but Yeah, but let's get into predictions. We want to start off with last week.
Oh yes.
Oh, I think these predictions. I think we just need to cancel the whole season. Just get rid
Call
of
this
the whole
season off.
thing. Yeah, just to call it off, man. But go on, go on.
I promise you, I haven't gone for 2 for 2 predictions in fucking my life. I can't believe this. I mean, that was crazy. But yeah, 2-0. That's clean sheet. I think that this week I'm really trying to. I don't know what I'm going to say, to be honest. I think if I'm being smart, I'm going to go for 2-1 Arsenal. What's that? Would you go that?
That's literally what I'm gonna say. It's a 2-1. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet, unfortunately. I think the robot's gonna get a goal.
Yeah, he always scored. I think he scored in like 4 out of 5 games against us. Wait, he scored against... First time we played him, it was 22-23 came. Grealish scored. At the Etihad, he scored that season as well. Didn't score when the 1-0 win. Scored in the... Wait, when did he go to City? No, it was 0-0. Okay, yeah, no. So 2 of the times he hasn't scored. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times he 4 out of 6 times he scored. That's a good record for him.
Flipping hell. Yeah, that's listen, he's dangerous. But City are they're hindered, man, and
If you're
I think
going
they're there
2-1,
for the taking.
I don't know if I should change that then. Because I don't really want the same score as you, because that's just throwing points out the window.
Yeah. It's just generally what I feel. I just see it 2-1. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll stick with 2-1. Actually, I don't know. I probably should change this just for the fuck of it. Fuck it, 3-1. I'll go 3-1.
3-1. Okay. Fair
I
enough.
probably could have done that, but you know, I think it makes it more fun anyway. Because that means if we both got it right, it's still a 2 gap difference. At least if I get it wrong, it's 2-1. But
okay, yeah. Fair enough. Well, guys, that's it. The scores are locked in. Could it be my week? We'll see. But
we'll see.
That's pretty much everything City. That's pretty much the whole of the episode for today. Do you have anything in particular?
I haven't got much to say. The only thing I'd say, I mean, out of the whole Arsenal discussion, just for the channel, 3K on Instagram. Hey, 3,000 followers. Yeah, we'd love to see it. 5,000 next. Well, obviously 4,000 is the next milestone, but aiming for 5,000. If we can get that by the end of the year, I think that might be a thing that we can try aim for. But
100%.
Yeah, it's been very good, and TikTok's doing well as well. So yeah, thank you for that. We're getting there, man.
Yeah, listen, we're getting there. Long may it continue. People keep running up the numbers. Check out the social medias. Like I said, they're all in the description. TikTok, Twitter, we're everywhere, man. Instagram, we're everywhere. YouTube, the Israel's Gold podcast, and more content is coming out, rapidly as the games progress. The Champions League is here now. More cup competitions coming along the way. Carabao Cup, It won't be long before we're discussing that and the FA Cup. So yeah, but that's today's episode. That's everything, people. So like I said, check those out, and yeah, we'll be back after the City game. Hopefully, all things go well. We can only pray. Do you understand?
Go home, man. Another 3 points.
Another 3 points. Yeah, people. We'll see you on next week's episode of your Israel's Gold podcast, episode 5. Right. Anything? Wait, actually, before we go, personal channels.
Oh yes, you know where you can find me. Harry2 in the description. Also got Real Mate Show. You know where you can find me in the description down below. Go give that some love.
Yeah, man, and check out. I only got one channel, ABZ channel. Like I said, check that out, people. But yeah, we'll see you on next week's episode. Peace.
See you later.